Well, back here, Treasurer Josh Frydenberg was invited to give a breakfast speech today at the Business Council, and he came with a particularly strong message to the business community. He wants them to spend less on share buybacks and dividends and spend more of their money on, well, productivity-enhancing investments within their business. Take a look.
Well, share buybacks and capital returns are becoming increasingly prominent, and the default option for corporates is a buyback always the best option for the future growth of the economy and the company. Over the last 12 months, approximately $29 billion has been returned to shareholders in the form of buybacks and special dividends, compared to an average of $12 billion over the previous 4 years, a 140% increase. Understandably, management and boards, when they are in possession of excess capital, either from asset sales or strong operating cash flows, will want to be prudent about their own capital allocation. A more positive approach to investment and growth by Australian corporates will not only lead to a stronger economy, but would contribute to the goal of capital deepening.
So invest more to grow your business. That'll help workers, that'll help wages as well, but at the expense of those big dividends for shareholders. What do shareholders think about this? Joining me now, Allan, the chair of the Australian Shareholders Association. Thanks very much for your time. What is your reaction to the Treasurer's message to corporate Australia today?
Look, thank you. We're retail shareholders. That means that we're there for a long time. We aren't flicking shares. We do love dividends. We love special dividends. And those of us love share buybacks. But it's over to the company. We want the company to survive. We want the company to grow. We want it to continue to be a good investment for a long time. So, yeah, if the board says the best use of the money today is a special dividend, we sure are not going to say no. We'll take it and be happy about it. But we want that company to be around and growing.
You want a balance, but is the Treasurer right in saying that that balance is a bit out of whack, that there's been too much spent on dividends and share buybacks, not enough has been spent on investing?
Well, it depends on which company you're talking about. You can't treat all of the listed companies the same way. We've seen some examples of companies that have had great growth because they've gone into new areas, they've spent a lot of money on new technology and development. Other companies, yep, they probably should have, and they didn't.
But he's saying generally, as a general rule, he points to this 140% increase in dividend payouts to $29 billion last year. Generally, is it too much? Look,
as a retail shareholder, I'm never going to say it's too much. This is what we have to remember is, especially those of us who are looking at retirement and superannuation, where there's a limited number of ways that we can make there's only a limited number of things we can invest in. So companies, share market is one of the main ways that we invest. So that's what we look to for our income, not just, something to go and have extra, but our actual income. It's what we live on. So yes, those dividends are important to us. But we hope to live for a number of years. So we want to continue getting those dividends from a company. We aren't going to go and sit there with each company and say, oh, you should spend more money. You should go and have new technology. You should have more new technology. You should buy another company. That's what we have boards of directors for. We elect those boards of directors. If we don't think they're doing a good job, we don't elect them. You make the point that a lot of retirees live on these dividends. And, of course, this was a key theme during the election campaign earlier this year. It was the coalition saying, we'll protect those dividends, those franked dividend payments. Is there some irony that it's now the coalition saying they're too generous, these dividends? The idea that there is an irony in politicians, is that surprising to anyone? But is that how you see it? That this is the side of politics that fought tooth and nail to protect those dividends. Now it's saying they're a bit over the top. Yeah, look, what I assume that the coalition is seeing is that there is a good movement at the moment that companies are getting attacked for good reasons. A lot of people have been getting paid too much money, and the senior executives. So yes, it's a good thing to go and attack them. That makes a lot of sense. Now they're saying, okay, there's this privileged group, us poor retail shareholders. You know, we're always easy to attack. It's just like the governments love attacking superannuation. You know, let's jump on superannuation. Yeah, it's a constant theme. Is it ironical? Yeah, I guess so.
Do you feel at all as though, you know, you guys backed in the government on the franking credits issue in particular? Now they're perhaps not so friendly when it comes to dividends?
Well, look, you know, it is surprising. You know, why they're saying this in particular at the moment, I have no idea. I don't know if there's some particular reason. I'm just not sure if there's been something that has happened that this has come out of the Treasurer has decided today that this is going to be his latest attack. I don't actually understand what the reasoning is behind it.
Well, I guess his reasoning is he wants some economic growth, however he can find it, and if he can encourage corporate Australia to invest a bit more, that might help.
Yeah, it might help. Corporate tax cuts might help. There is going and having better tax incentives for research and development might help. There's a lot of things that might help. And one of the problems that we have with companies is in that area of research and development. If we look at Australia, the way that our tax system works and to encourage research and development is way behind a lot of other countries.
All right. Well, Allan Goldin, the Chair of Australian Shareholders Association, appreciate your time this afternoon. Thank you for that.